Hi again, everybody. My name's Martin, and I'm here to talk about things I'm experiencing and learning being an online tutor, being a distance teacher. I'm dressed in my DaDaABC blues, so I am talking specifically about DaDaABC, but the subject of today's video, going above and beyond your contract, is probably applicable to almost any company that you teach for, maybe even any company that you work for. Um, everybody's contracts have a certain, basic basic agreement. You'll be available certain days, certain hours. You agree to teach material. You agree to be presentable. Um, but that's a basic minimum. And the truth of the matter is, if you enjoy what you're doing, you want to keep doing it. So you want to get invited to renew your contract. And that's not always going to be the case if you only ever meet the basic minimum. Uh, if you want your contract to be renewed, chances are you're going to want to go above and beyond that basic minimum to really be the kind of teacher that your employer wants to hold on to. Uh, so some of the ideas that are about to follow are my own. Um, some come from the voice of experience, from talking to other teachers, and even some of the mentors in the company that I work for. Um, so to start off, you're going to need to make yourself available for a certain amount of time. You'll agree to amount of time. You'll be available certain days of the week. But more than that, availability also impacts the students. The more available you are, the more days of the week that you can work, the more latitude that gives students to book with you. And your employer is going to like that. Additionally, even though in your contract you may be allowed a certain amount of time off, maybe not the best idea to take that time off if you can avoid it. Um, if your contract's supposed to start at a certain date and you know that a week after that you're going to need a few days off, start your contract after that. Don't take time off during your contract if you can. If you know you're going to be going on a holiday and your contract is ending in a month, see if you can rearrange your holiday for after your contract in that space between the end of one contract and the renewal of another. Try to avoid taking time off if you can at all help it. That'll go over well. Uh, in a similar vein, attendance and lateness. You do not want to be late. Even by a couple of minutes, it matters. It goes on your record. It gets noticed. Avoid at all costs being late, and that is not just a personal thing. It's also a technical issue. I've talked in other videos about avoiding errors and mistakes with your technical equipment, and I'll reiterate: try to have reliable equipment. Whether you're late because you slept in or whether you're late because um, your computer monitor crapped out on you, you're still late. So try to have reliable equipment, try to be reliable. Um, and if worse comes to worse, if something happens while you're teaching, it'll be noticed if your response is quick, it's appropriate, it takes care of the issues. If you know what to do in a so-called emergency, the sound goes out or the teaching material isn't available, the quicker and more effectively you can respond to that emergency, uh, the better it'll look in your record. So that kind of covers being there, being available. Um, but to get into something a little more personal is also comes under the umbrella of what I call effort. If you're teaching distance, you're going to be probably pulling some really weird hours. You might not always feel up to it. You might not always feel, under the best weather. But you've always got to put in your best effort. Do you assign homework to each class? Do you assign reasonable, appropriate homework? When you do assign homework and it's sent back to you, Do you grade it in a reasonable amount of time, within a day or two? Is it graded and sent back to the student? Similarly, after a class, if you have to write reports about your student, about the class, if you have to assess yourself and the student, are those done right away? And are those thought about? Have you taken some time? Take 5, 10 minutes really, just to tailor each one to a class. Every class is different, every student is different. So why would your assessments and your reports be cut and paste? It's just lazy. And lazy gets picked up just as quickly as that extra effort will get picked up. Your demeanor and your presentation. Are you always clean shaven? I'm not always. I hope that's not going to go down on my record too much, but you know what? Try to be presentable at the very least. Always have a clean shirt, nicely ironed, looking good. Um, you've had enough sleep. You're not bleary. You're definitely not hungover. Hopefully, uh, obviously your students can't smell you, and they don't know what you're wearing on the bottoms. As long as you present yourself well to the student, then the company will be happy, engage, and present. Um, chances are, whoever you work for, your students and their parents will have an opportunity to make comments about you and even submit complaints. Hopefully you won't be getting complaints. Hopefully any comments you get will be favorable. Uh, but again, those will be on your record. That all adds up. And finally, I don't know about other companies, but students are tested with DaDaABC. And though nobody has said it, I would be really, really surprised if your students' grades didn't reflect on you as a teacher as well. So, you know, yeah, sometimes you can get away with maybe not going into the course material as in depth as you feel like, but in the end, it's going to reflect on your students' grades, and your students' grades in the end are going to reflect on you. So make that extra effort. It's all effort. So again, if you want to maximize the chances that you will be invited back to renew your contract, look at or try to make yourself as available as you can. Avoid taking time off. Definitely avoid being late. Tech issues. Have reliable equipment and know how to handle emergencies if they crop up. Effort, make the best effort you can every day. Bring your best self to class. Look good, feel good, smile, present, be on top of things. Assign homework that's appropriate, grade it quickly. Don't do cut and paste reports on your classes. And just, you know, be the kind of teacher you always wish you had. And chances are, when your 6 or your 12 months are up, you'll get a note saying, you want to come back for another bunch? So I hope that's you. I hope it's me. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.